Hey Capricorn Nation, this is Tyler and you are watching Capricorn Tales. This is a channel for anybody that has Capricorn in their chart. It doesn't have to just be the sun, the moon, the rising, or the Venus. It could be anywhere in your chart. If you got Capricorn in your chart, then you're at the right place. This reading we're going to talk about a little bit about Mercury retrograding, just to kind of see what's going to be coming up for us, the theme. We do know that Mercury retrograde is going to be in our fellow earth sign, which is Taurus. However, with it being in Taurus, Taurus isn't as intense as us Capricorns are. So if I was going to have it in any earth sign, I'd rather it be in the Taurus, because Taurus is more easygoing than we are, for the most part. Alrighty guys, so kind of the pre-shadow retrograde starts tomorrow, April 7th. During the shadow periods, they can actually feel a little bit more intense to us than when it's actually retrograding. Also, during or between the Mercury retrograde phase and before it's going direct, which takes another little bit of time for it to, that's the post-shadow phase of Mercury retrograding. Try to use this time, reflect on what has transpired from the last Mercury retrograde that we had and the end of Capricorn season. I mean, at the end of, well, pretty much during Capricorn season, we had Mercury retrograding, and now it's kind of the same theme with it in Taurus season. It's going to be the same theme. So technically, even though it's 3 weeks of Mercury retrograding, we do have the pre-shadow, which is about 3 weeks, and the post-shadow phase as well, which is close to another almost 3 weeks. So, and usually when we start the the pre-shadow phase, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like, I know we just had that, we had that full moon as well in Libra, but I already feel Mercury retrograding, like that pre-shadow. It's like this, it's like you're being zapped, that's what I call it, going from like one energy to like all of a sudden the extreme, the Mercury retrograding extreme energy, if that makes any sense to you guys. So reflect on that. I think journaling is really, really crucial at this time as well, because it helps you kind of reflect also as on the events that have taken place. And usually during Mercury retrograding, if you journal things, like, and be totally honest, Capricorn, if you could be totally honest, keep any kind of judgment out and just kind of, just the facts with your journaling. It'll kind of show you hints, right, of things that were being affected and things that, maybe we need to, sort through, complete, and let go so that we can move forward from that continuous energy as well. Also during the pre-shadow phase, like I say, kind of a sort of a roadmap as to what's to come, what's going to take place. I did say that to you guys already. So I also feel like the first 2 days when Mercury goes direct, it kind of gives us a hint of how it's going to be going forward. So keep that in mind. But right now we're talking about that pre-shadow phase, okay? So, but if you're starting to feel off right now, it's just, it's Mercury, pre-shadow Mercury coming up. All right, guys? But, you guys, during Mercury retrograde, just a small little note, you might find yourself going back to some kind of old creative things, endeavors. You might be moving, transitioning from, your residency. You might be, changing your home environment, giving it an uplift or a facelift, so to speak, in a way. You might find yourself going out, doing more fun stuff and spending time with your friends and stuff, things that, past experiences, people that are part of your past experience, not new people that show up, especially during Mercury retrograde. I find also during the pre-shadow, during the retrograde, and the post-shadow, I try not to make too many sudden changes during that time, because 9 out of 10 times those changes will be basically temporary. Obviously, there's things that we have to do sometimes, and maybe you don't really want to do it during Mercury retrograde, like have that surgery or, move into that place or start that job, because like I said, 9 out of 10 times, it's usually a transition place. It's a transition job, you know. But don't, like, not do it, right? Don't not do it if it's a basic need and it has to be done. Definitely, you know, don't, you know, not do it. Okay, guys? So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. I always like to know when the pre-shadow phase is for myself so that I can, you know, start getting ready for the retrograde phase. But sometimes the shadow phase is even more complicated than the retrograde phase too as well. But I'm glad if it's going to be in one of the earth signs, at least it's in Taurus. So that is a good thing. Keep that in mind too. All right, so we're going to start this reading. We'll see what comes up. What is the overall energy? Well, this card, as I was saying, that flipped over nice and gently, actually, instead of flying out like a lot of them do. This one just nicely flipped over as I was saying that. We have the Two of Wands. There she is. She's up on that lanai or balcony, whatever you want to call it, right? She's looking out, you know. You see the mountains behind her. So she's very high. She could probably see very far and wide, right? And we know with the Two of Wands, you might have some kind of partnership thing coming up. But it's also about, you know, taking risks and leaving the comfort zone as well. So, again, we did talk about, you know, some of you guys might be having to move. Maybe you don't want to. You know, maybe you're comfortable with the way things are, but there may be some kind of shakeup, and you know, that's going to have to push us out of our comfort zone and help make us take a risk. All right, so we're just going to see just a little bit what the steampunk has to say about the Two of Wands. I know we read it before because it has come up before, but I think it's always good to have a refresher of everything, if you ask me. All right, so Two of Wands. A wielder of fire does not chant eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So the core meaning of this is hesitating over a decision. Well, guys, you know what? I really like that. That's basically what we were talking about, because we know that we got the pre-shadow and we have Mercury retrograde coming up, as well as the post-Mercury retrograde. So it feels like the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks is going to feel almost like, you know, you've been in this Mercury retrograde. So I really like that. And maybe you guys might have to make a quick choice on the fly, whether it's maybe it could be, you know, a move. It could be some kind of sudden change, guys. So, but that's okay. I like that, though. But I like it because it's basically kind of summing up what we were talking about. And you guys might, I don't know about you guys, but yes, I do hesitate a lot during the Mercury retrograde times as well. I like to tread carefully and cautiously, but sometimes we do have to take risks. Some things are out of our control as well. Alrighty. So the next card that came out, and I hope I'm making sense to you guys. I feel a little sleepy today. I don't know why. But here's the Four of Pentacles now. Alrighty, so at this time, you know, maybe you guys might be a little stingy with your energy as well. I mean, we know that the Pentacles has to do with material aspects in our life, as well as finance and our property too. I mean, since the last retrograde period, you guys could have been really stingy with your finances. Maybe money had been really tight. Maybe money was stingy with you, right? So, but this also could be a sign of being overly cautious, which I feel like sometimes I can tend to be a little overly cautious during the Mercury retrograding periods for me. So there might be some of you guys might relate to that too. Okay. So some of you guys might feel guarded. I know I do get guarded around Mercury retrograded, especially when it comes to new things and new stuff happening. So that might be a message for some of you guys too as well. All right, hold on. I'm going to put these back. Some of you guys might need to rest. The Four of Swords popped up. And maybe listen to your intuition, because the High Priestess did come out. As well as a bunch of other cards. So as we know, the High Priestess has to do with intuition, intuition. So maybe some of you guys will have to rest during this time and, you know, keep activities at a minimum just so that you can rest your mind and stuff like that, especially if things have been really tough and tight at this time as well. Alrighty, so there's that star again. There's that star. But that's about hope. That's about renewal, renewed faith in something as well. So, it's also Aquarius energy. If that's significant to you, there might be some Capricorns that are born on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius. So that could be, you know, significant for you as well. It does have to do with be rejuvenated, better times ahead. You know, anything that makes you feel hopeful definitely is a better place to be than a lack of hope and things like that. So I really like that there. So some of you guys, you know, you might be spending some times with friends, you know, getting reacquainted with something, you know, a creative endeavor that made you guys feel really good. It's like, you know, things from the past that you don't mind revisiting and stuff like that. And by doing that and making that cause, by spending some quality time with maybe some friends you haven't seen in a long time and stuff, especially if they call you up, maybe they're in the neighborhood or whatnot, put that where that would fit a situation in your life, guys. And just by taking that course of action, letting things rest for now as well, things that you don't really need to tend to. If you don't need to tend to it, just leave it be, you know. And just work on the things that, you know, maybe you want to close out as well. Alrighty, but definitely because Mercury retrograde is going to be in Taurus, that might make us more social beings as well, and that's okay. It's okay. There's some friends of mine, because I moved back to my old neighborhood. I mean, I got to move again June 1st. So there are some friends of mine that I grew up with and went to school with that I would love to see. We just haven't been able to connect. Alrighty, so now we have the star. We got the 7 of Pentacles, guys. There he is. Taking notes, right, in that book. Probably writing things down. I do that too. I make jewelry. And so I write down the stuff that I have because I have so much, like, pearls, all different types of pearls and things. And so I take notes. Inventory, take stock. Of course, my method doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but anyway, this has to do with being rewarded, you know, for something that we've spent time being patient on, or, you know, some kind of work. But this is a good financial news, something that you guys have been patiently planning, you know, and persevering through. So that could be what this 4 of Pentacles is too as well, because as you can see, this person's putting that gold coin inside this thing. It almost looks like a little coin bank, right? A piggy bank. So you guys could have been doing that too as well, you know, and you guys have put away enough money, and that could be why that star is right there. And it seems like the universe will be rewarding us for something that we've been really diligently working on, something that we've been very patient on as well. I don't know you guys' story, so I don't, you know where that fits, but I'm sure you guys will know exactly what that is. Alrighty. Okay, so now we do have the 5 of Swords, which I am not surprised to see, right? Because we are starting our pre-shadow retrograding. And so with the 5 of Swords, it has to do with things that are deceitful, some kind of hidden agenda, something that was unfair. It could be some kind of argument or dispute, and it could also have to do with some kind of bullying. So, if there are people like that in your environment, guys, you might have to kind of do some little journaling, take an inventory. Again, like we talked about in my last reading, it's about boundaries, like, you know, not letting people overstep your boundaries as well. That's what I see that with. So I definitely, I like to, especially, and I was talking about that at the beginning of the reading too, with the Mercury pre-shadow and going forward. I do like to keep my contact as minimum as I can with new things and new environments and situations as well. Or there's been people that I've had conflicts with, or, you know, we're not seeing eye to eye. I try to keep my contact with them minimum as well. That's just something that I do. For me, most of the time it works. But we do have the Hangman here. Alrighty, guys. So with the Hangman, you know, you guys might be spending some time during this time, really, again, doing reflecting as well. You might not be making too many choices, or, you know, not sure what you're going to do. I think that's where the journaling will really, really come in play. And I feel that if you can do some honest, open and honest journaling, and do really honest and open reflecting, guys, there are some situations that you will see from a different perspective. There will be some situations that you are going to be like, you know what, nope, I'm done. Absolutely going to cut this out. I don't need this anymore. Alrighty. So, okay. So I definitely feel that this retrograde period is going to be really significant, especially with the energies going on as well that have been going on, okay, for us since March. So, all right. Let's see. Okay, so we are doing the Gilded Tarot now. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to not tell you that. All right, so now we do have the Nine of Swords. I'm not surprised this is here. I can completely understand the Nine of Swords. I know recently I've been in my head a lot. My sleeping pattern's been off lately as well. Started last week. And I remember telling Charlie, my daughter, Charlie, I was telling her, God, I feel like we're already in the pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde, because that's how, sometimes for me, I got a lot going on in my head. But then again, I also have a lot going on. So I could be talking to Capricorns out there that do have a lot going on in your life as well, and it might get you in this Nine of Swords energy. Maybe you're not so sure what to do, and you maybe could be up thinking about this or that. What if I do this? What if I go there? You know, if you're anybody like me, I don't like to take a whole bunch of unnecessary steps, you know, or have to revert backwards very often unless it's a need as well. So you guys could have that, and it's also clarifying that Two of Wands as well. So whatever risks that you might be having to take, something that might be uncomfortable for you, for us, you know, because it's about, like the Two of Wands is about taking a risk and leaving our comfort zone. That definitely could, I don't know about you guys, but that has me up in my head, because I am going to be leaving my comfort zone pretty soon. As the post-shadow phase finishes, that's the day I gotta move. So that might be significant for you guys in some kind of situation that's relatable to what I was just sharing with you. Alright, so, well, oops, hold on. Okay, that was too much. See. Alright, well, I'm just going to take the cards how they came out. Okay, the Chariot came out, the King of Swords, and the Magician. Okay, so first now we have the Chariot. Okay, so like with the major arcanas, a little bit different than like the Eight of Wands to me, and the Knight of Swords and the minor arcana, the, you know, I feel like those are really fast moving cards. And then we also have the Chariot as well. For me, like the Chariot, once we understand that we are going to have some kind of opposition, but if our goals, our decisions are very clear right now, guys, knowing that there's going to be challenges is kind of like, you know, we know when Mercury retrograde comes up, you know, we're prepared for, you know, communication issues, travel issues, things like that, that Mercury retrograde does. You know, so we know that that's like, okay, so that could be present a challenge for some kind of specific goal that we're going for, guys. You know, and maybe you want to keep your energy really tight to you, right? With that Four of Pentacles here. You know, be a little stingy with your energy so that these things that might pop up, you know, try to keep them at bay. I think we were just talking about that. That's what I feel like these two cards mean. But just know, because the Chariot is there, you guys could, you know, be dealing with Cancer as well, or have it in your chart. Cancer is like the direct antithesis of Capricorn when it comes to the astrology chart. It's our polar opposite. But anyway, once you know that these things are going to come up, you know that, okay, these things are going to come up, but I'm not going to let them, you know, hinder or interfere as best as I can to my best ability. You know, this is where I need to go. This is what I'm shooting for. You should be able to get there rather fast. Okay, guys? All right, so whatever this hope and healing, this optimism, if you, you know, you have that King of Swords. So as we know, the star is Aquarius energy, and swords are air energy as well, which is Aquarius as well as Gemini and Libra. We do have Gemini in Venus right now as well, so keep that in mind. So some of you Capricorns could have Gemini, Venus in your chart. So this King of Swords, as we know with the King of Swords, he is connected to the law. He has very high standards, though. He's very disciplined. He's got a lot of integrity. So I feel like the star has to do with something within us, you know. So I'm not surprised to see the King of Swords there with the star. You know, I think it's about having that discipline, right? And it's there with that hope and that renewal, guys. And I think that's really, 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 really significant. You know, I think with that fresh optimism, it'll keep you on your course, guys, okay? It'll keep you disciplined and, you know, sticking to the goal, whatever goal is that you're trying to achieve during this period, you know. All right, so we do have the Magician. So I do, like, hear a lot of Capricorns, and I know I think that way, too, because, like, these next 3 years are supposed to be, like, similar energies from, like, 1993 to 1996. If you're old enough to remember that time, I know I am. But for me, I feel like, you know, we might be telling the universe, you know what? I have been working my butt off. I have dealt with the aftermath in Pluto's wake, you know, during the time of Pluto being in Capricorn. Things like that, where you go, well, it just feels like nothing happens. Like we're just going in this circle, keep going over and over in this circle. So, you know, you could be manifesting from the universe. Definitely, again, journaling is really important. We want to check how we're truly manifesting, you know. So definitely want to check that. Because we may think that we are manifesting what we want. But there might be an internal part of us that says, no way. No way. There ain't no way this is ever going to happen. There's no way we can do this. You know, that negative talk. We were talking about that with the Chariot. Let it pass through you like the flu. All right, guys? All it does is take a little bit of shift and tweaking, you know, if you need to. Alrighty, guys? So you're definitely, you know, manifesting, and I do hear it a lot with Capricorn saying, you know, I keep hearing this over and over again for so long. Unfortunately, Jupiter and Pluto was a mess when it was supposed to help us out. You know, because Jupiter is the gift of luck, but Pluto brings up those things that are hidden and unseen these last, you know, in 2020, as we know. So, we keep hearing, I know, I do, you know, hang in there. It's going to change, you know, it's our time. It is our time, though. I truly believe it is. Alrighty, guys. And now we have the Fool. So you guys are definitely going to drop all these things that have, you know, caused a lot of issues. You know, these people that have, you know, kind of maybe dealt us an unfair hand, you know. These things like that relate to the Five of Swords, guys. Stepping away from that, you guys are definitely going to use this time, the pre-shadow, the retrograde, and the post-shadow to really cut out that stuff that no longer needs to be here with that Five of Swords and the Fool. Alrighty, guys. No more arguments. You're done. I'm done. No more arguments. I want fresh new beginning. Cutting ties with that is holding us back so that we can enjoy this star energy, this hope, this renewal. Okay, guys? So keep that in mind as well. I know that anytime I get people coming around like this, as we were talking about too with the full moon in Libra, about boundaries, healthy boundaries as well. So once you put in those healthy boundaries and you really stick to them, Capricorn, that's where this new beginning takes place and takes shape. All right, guys. So we do also have on the bottom of the deck, we do have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so with the Nine of Pentacles, that's definitely a Capricorn card, I really believe. That has to do with financial success, has material security, also being rewarded, being self-sufficient. Usually this is the self-sufficient card too as well, you know. Well, maybe you are more self-sufficient than you realize, and maybe taking this time out and reflecting, like truly reflecting, you know, you might see your financial situation from a different perspective as well, and be like, you know what, I'm Capricorn, I'm really badass, man, and you know what, I've been doing all this, and I've been taking care of all this stuff, you know, so, and I've been doing it on my own, which is very admirable as well. So I hope I'm making sense, guys. Again, for me, I really feel the energy of the pre-shadow this time. So, alright. Now we are using the Light Seers deck. So, during this time, when you guys, you know, as we're trying to get out of our head, right? So, we're going to take some kind of risk with that Two of Wands. And we're going to need some kind of strength, right? Inner strength as well. That's Leo energy too, so you might have Leo in your chart. So with that strength card, it's about also being gentle, you know, with ourselves, and being brave and self-confident, you know. So this risk that you guys might be taking, you may not know exactly where it is going. And again, it might have you in your head, but you're going to find the strength, the willpower, the internal willpower to take that leap anyway, because we do have the Fool over here. See that? The Fool. So you are going to take that leap of faith. You know, you are manifesting a new beginning, a new adventure, guys. So it doesn't always mean it has to do with love, because to me, this is, you know, not really a love reading. This is about us and our journey, you know, taking place. Alright, so what else do we got here for Capricorn? The Four of Pentacles and the Chariot. See, what do we got? Alright, well now the cards are being stingy. Whoops. Okay, guys. Well, that one, the Devil was on the bottom of the deck, guys. I thought there was another card that went out. Hold on. Trying to double check. Make sure. I think it's the only one. Alright. Yep. I think it's the only one. I thought I had seen the Eight of Wands go flying out, but I just don't see it. It could be under my dog. He's resting right now. So anyway, well, we do have that pesky little Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so as we know, the Knight of Pentacles, it is the slowest moving card in the whole deck. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I dread it when I see the Knight of Pentacles, and I'm so glad that it's here. Again, I feel like whatever this was, it seems like whatever it is that you had to be stingy on, whether it was your money, your time, your resources, it might have felt like this has been never ending with that Knight of Pentacles, because he is the slowest, steady, but he's steady. He's just slow. He's the slowest guy in the whole deck. Okay, guys, so you guys might have felt like everything's been stingy and tight for quite some time as well. I know I can relate to that already, going, okay, yes, I know this is the obstacle, this is the challenge, and yet, you know, it seems like the challenge and the obstacles have been lingering for a long time. And that's how this might be feeling for you guys during this retrograde phase as well. But you know what? Because I see the star there as well, so with that Knight of Pentacles, it is an eventual positive outcome already. So once you break the ice with that Knight of Pentacles, that seems like it's been lasting for a very long time, then we have that full speed ahead with the Chariot, right? So, okay. With that hope and renewal, okay, guys, you know, being disciplined and going, you know what, you guys would have felt like, because I know with me, I've been very disciplined in many areas of my life. I've been hit really hard with a lot of obstacles during the last 15 years. Things I never even thought I'd have to deal with or even existed sometimes, okay? And so once we get out of that, with that, and, you know, start having some more hope and some more renewal, you know, going, you know what, yes, being disciplined and stuff like that, having my standards, you know, is actually paying off in the end. You know, little small things, you know, reflect on those things, that those small victories, okay? I always talk about that. That's so important, and appreciate and having gratitude for those small victories will make that hope and that renewal, the star, you know, the star energy, so much brighter, guys. It really will. So at this time you may need to rest, because now there it is, the Four of Swords. I did talk about it while I was shuffling. As we first started shuffling, there's that Four of Swords. So some of you guys might have to be resting your heart and your mind and your body and your soul, everything, right, with the Four of Swords there. But you guys, we really, okay, I know we keep talking about it, but this is what the cards keep saying. So whatever it is that you're manifesting, guys, okay, there's the Nine of Cups. So make a wish, because the Nine of Cups, that's the wish fulfillment card. It's the wish card, I mean, you know. It's about success, achievements, and recognition. And there's that person is, right? They're jumping up in the air with all these cups, like joining the cups, like, woohoo, woohoo. My wish is finally, I'm starting to see my wish start to take flight, okay? And I'm manifesting that. And like I was saying, we're talking about, like, and I know a lot of Capricorns, myself included, been talking about, yes, we've been hearing all about this astrological energies. It's supposed to be so great for us, right? But I think the Pluto aftermath of the things that Pluto was bringing up in the destruction that it had brought, being in our first house of Capricorn, I really believe that we needed that to manifest properly, you know, to tell the universe what we want more clearly, more defined, you know, with that oomph in it, guys. So we are going to be rewarded. I know we are. So hopefully, you know, I think it would be great if, you know, especially for us Capricorns, if we were able to share with each other the things that we are rewarded for, instead of the things that we are waiting to be rewarded for. And even if it's a small thing, a small little token, but to be able to share that, you know, also shifts our vibration and our mind in the way that we are focusing and telling the universe what we want. So I think that is very crucial as well, guys. Alrighty, so I just saw the Ace of Pentacles, so alrighty, but let's see what else comes up. There's that Hanged Man again. Alrighty, guys. There's the Hanged Man. So that's definitely very significant. Well, that's upside down. There you go, guys. Sorry. I was used to the Hangman being up at the top. So some of you guys may not be seeing things from a different perspective during this time. Some of you guys might actually hang on to, you know, instead of looking at things honestly, there are going to be some of you guys that do it. And, you know, but that's okay. That's okay. Some people will see things from a different perspective, kind of, you know, reassess, and some of you guys might stay closed off, right? So it just depends on where you are at in your life and things like that. Okay, but with this Fool, again, and I was talking about that, right? There's that Fool, being able to see things from a different perspective, leaving these bickering, this crap behind. Goodbye. Right? Because that's not the energy that you want to focus on, because that's just going to keep, the more we focus on lack and what we don't like to see or what's happening, things like that, we're going to keep pulling it into our universe, okay? And it does take time to change that and transform that as well. So just keep that in mind too. And then on the bottom of the deck, I think, you know, taking this time out because of the Nine of Pentacles being there is really going to help us observe our thoughts and stuff during this next 6 weeks of the then the retro and the post-retrograde phase. So once that is complete, because we do have the Three of Wands there, thankfully she's there. Thank you for showing up. You know, once it completes, we're going to have a little bit of momentum. You know, we might even find that we've made some milestone progress as well during this time. You know, as long as we stick to doing things for ourselves and everything with the Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles energy, guys. So I like that because that means that once we go through and we do what, you know, what we need to do to kind of help raise our vibrations during this time, you know, cut out the things that need to be cut out and stuff like that, and get ready to plan and prepare, because we did start out with the Two of Wands as well. With the Two of Wands, it's also about planning and preparing. So being able to use this time to just kind of plan and prepare. Like for me, I have things that, you know, I decided to search now last month, at the end of last month, because I know that the changes that I'm taking on are going to be towards the end of the post-shadow phase, but I want to be ready for it now, obviously with some flexibility and adaptation. So there's that Three of Wands. Now we have the Death and the Rebirth card, which also has to do with Scorpio. So Scorpio might be significant for you. There could be some kind of research of somebody that it represents Scorpionic energy too, which could be significant for you guys. You know, some kind of new phase, and it could be linked to a Scorpio as well. Okay. Alright, so now we have the Wheel of Fortune. So I think that's great. I love it that the Wheel of Fortune is here. Once we make the necessary shifts, guys, that's when karma and fate, right? Because now we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, this is really important. So pay attention to this, especially if you are relating to this video, guys. I know that I am truly paying attention to this, and I'm sorry this is long, but I feel that Mercury retrograde you cannot take lightly. I don't like to, but that Seven of Pentacles is about something that we are being rewarded for, right? It's a good financial thing as well with the Seven of Pentacles, like some kind of good news financially. And because we manifested it, we've been telling the universe this is what we want. We've been doing the work. Some kind of major wish, you guys, is going to start. It's going to be in your favor. Fate, karma, you know, it's going to bring it to you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. And I think partly what that Hangman is just, you know what, you don't have to do anything. I believe it's going to come to you. Okay. I believe that the right time and place, everything is going to, it's going to be like magic and luck. You feel like all of a sudden, whoa, and it's going to give you a cause to celebrate, guys, with the Four of Wands. We know that's the 11-11 card. Four of Wands has to do with stability. Some of you guys might start making marriage plans after the retrograde is done. Maybe you needed to cut somebody out. You know, maybe there was a relationship you need to cut out. And by cutting it out during this Mercury retrograde time, maybe they'll be self-reflecting and, you know, thinking about the things that they did to cause that. And maybe come back, right? And be able to see it from a different perspective and be like, you know, why don't we move in together, Capricorn? You know, again, because we do have that Three of Wands. So you guys might have somebody coming back and, you know, trying to make it right. Or you might be going back to somebody to try and make it right for them, because of the Four of Wands has to do with reunions, and it has to do with celebrations as well. Now we do have the Moon with the Five of Wands. So there might be some things that you don't see because the moon is there. It's also Pisces energy, guys. But with the Five of Wands, it has to do with the conflicts and the quarreling, you know, the clashing of egos. Like, and I just talked about, right? You might have had a separation with in a relationship. And so, because of maybe some quarreling, the bickering with the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands. Alrighty. So, and it could be something mentally inside your head that during the Mercury retrograde, if you do the journaling and stuff, that might come up and you'll be like, oh my God, I was the one that was standing in my own way. Because 9 out of 10 times we usually are the ones standing in our own way. Alrighty, but hang in there, guys, because we're ending it with the 10 of Cups. Okay, I love that with the 10 of Cups, because now we got the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. So I do believe once we are out of Mercury retrograde, there's going to be some kind of major wish, guys. Something that you guys have been manifesting. You may not even realize it is going to come up. And it could be related to this death and rebirth card. It could be some kind of Scorpio. That, you know, somebody that resembles the Scorpionic energy as well. Okay, guys? But I love this. This is beautiful. Beautiful, 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 right? So as we're doing things on our own, we're going to be seeing things from a different perspective, but we are headed towards our 10 of Cups, which is some kind of commitment. It's also the marriage card. It's a happy home life, so you could be a Capricorn that's already married, but you guys might be transitioning to a better place, a new home. That could be for me as well, you know, where I finally find a place that works for me, or it works for you guys, right? That makes you finally feel like, yes, I'm home. If it has nothing to do with a relationship, once the that pops up and, you know, comes to the forefront, either somebody from the past during Mercury retrograde or after Mercury has gone direct and past the post-shadow phase. So keep that in mind too. Again, I know this is long, but I think these cards are amazing. I love it. So, if you guys are relating to this story in part or in whole, sounds like, hey, you know what? This sounds like I'm going through this too. I understand this completely. You know what? Tap that like button. Subscribe to the channel. It does help the channel grow. And it lets me know that I am connecting with my fellow Capricorns out there. And I really appreciate it. As well as those comments. Thank you, everybody that has left a comment. I love hearing from you guys. You know, I just do. I love hearing from my fellow Capricorns. I like to hear you guys' story. And it makes me feel like I'm, you know, not this little Capricorn alone in the big bad world right now. So I do appreciate all of you guys. Thank you very much. I hope this is helpful and insightful. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I will talk with you guys soon. Aloha. Now let me show you the cards before I close. There you go. Okay, guys, look at that, though. The eventual outcome is amazing. It's amazing. So don't let anything get in the way of your new hope and your new optimism, guys. It's very crucial because that Chariot is there. I can't stress it enough. The Chariot, as again, we were talking about that last week. You know that there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be some kind of challenges, you know, trying to stunt your growth and stunt you moving forward. Just know that, but don't let anything deter you from your goal and where you are going. Alrighty? Not even yourself. Because we can, a lot of times, be our own worst block and our own worst enemy. So, definitely during this time, journaling is going to be really crucial, and reflecting and removing, right? Because we do have the death and rebirth. So whatever we move, don't worry about it. You know, don't be stingy. Don't be like the Four of Pentacles too much, right? Because the more that we hold on to stuff that we don't need, all it does is take up space, guys. Not only does it take up space, you know, if we get rid of that which no longer is needed, something new comes in and replaces it. So keep that in mind too. Alright, guys. Thank you for bearing with me and listening as well. And I hope you guys have a great day. Aloha.